West and Mauriwowi.
Sing, oh, floating and be like a boat. Ride across it like my fears. In that bottle, glide and see the moon like the mirrors of my mind when I get colliding with it. Hey, open my mind and open my mouth wider. I've been diving in and realizing visions is not all that I gotta believe in. It's time passing by, but I feel like I've been dreaming half the time, but pantomiming ain't gon' get me there. So I start to say my fears out loud and fight them right now. Stand in fear. I don't know what's inside my brain, but I'ma let it out of here. Ay, riding past, moving ground. I got ties to here. Find myself inside this flow. Open my eyes so I can see ghosts. Then I come back around while I'm riding on my pole. Like merry-go-round, swerving, gotta run it so. Whoa, I start the show before the end of the rhythm crash. Every time I feel my past drift behind my mind, I find another way to break it down so I could sublime that shit out. Calm my way out, I find my way down, cause it's a new route. I find it, I'm running all out. I slide. Hey, this is a cool beat today, man. Welcome to Vine Tree Radio. It's your boy West here chilling with
Mauriwowi, how's it going?
And you know we got a guest today. Introduce yourself.
My name is Summer Bosket. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for coming to Vine Tree Radio and kicking with us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's definitely been a journey, you know, getting all these podcasts filmed and put together, but I feel like it's a blessing in all, you know, doing this shit because we get to connect with people that we ain't seen in a while sometimes, and sometimes that we always get to see but don't get to talk to in like this capacity and shit.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good talk. This will be very interesting because I know you do so much and are involved in so many different things, and on top of that, you just seem to have like a very interesting perception on a lot of things. So I think this will be a cool talk.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I was just taking my mic because it wasn't sounding right no more. Hello, got you. I just need to sound up a little bit. But also, you know, we have known you for a while in the capacity of like our music shit. That's something I guess we talk about with a lot of people at the beginning of the pod is like our meeting each other and like I guess how that relates to our group, the Vine Tree, and how we've kind of connected with different people, and like that's I guess the essence of it all, we feel like. But I feel like with us it was something that kind of had to do with like like you said, like we would talk about just like some divine shit. Like it didn't really have nothing to do with nothing. I feel like I met you when I was like at your house randomly, but I didn't know I was at your house.
You met me at my house?
Yeah, because I remember I told you that one time because I was like, I didn't remember that was like how I met you, but it was like I was playing Super Smash Bros. I remember telling you this like a long time ago when I was playing it with my friend. We were at a party and then we went to somewhere else after the party, but we didn't know that's where we was going. And then you beat us in Super Smash Bros.
Okay.
And then
was I playing with Zelda?
I think so. And then that's when you were saying like it was your house, but it's because that's why I don't know. I was just there with my homie and we were playing Super Smash Bros. And then I remember I kept losing, and he was kind of nice, and you was playing, and you just kept dubbing us. And then I don't think I knew you then, but then I messaged you about like doing some art, and then at that time I was saying like, "Yo, I think I knew you." That's how I knew you. So it was one of those things, kind of just like I don't know. I reached out in a way. I don't know. I don't feel like I met you from like. I don't have no previous like knowing you like before that.
Okay, yeah, I forgot that that's when you met me at my house, because I was like, I just remember meeting you when we were doing the art, but then I recognized you. Like I was like, I know this person, but
definitely that was some weird like I guess crazy. Some weird time type shit. But right,
I love that.
I remember that for
it's
sure.
A small world.
We can talk about the art, doing the art though, because that's when I met you. That was.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you weren't playing. Were you playing Smash Bros?
I was not.
No. Nah, he didn't. But that's the only thing why I even like followed you on like social media and shit to begin with, like to find out you did art. Because I didn't know you did art then, or knew who you were. Because I went to Golden Valley.
Oh, okay. I was like, you must have went to Canyon. I was like, that must be how I remembered you. I was like, okay, for sure.
But so speaking on that though, how was it? I guess we can go into when we did the art, like how we met then, and like how I guess we extended it as like the Vine Tree towards that. That was one of the first time. I mean, it was in our first album. That was when we were working on just figuring out still how we wanted to approach the cover for the first album. And Wes had mentioned to me that he knew someone who was really good at art, drawing and painting, and a whole bunch of different artistic endeavors.
Damn, so you just jogged my memory. I feel like I almost want to fucking restart because I just fucking forgot. You right. I had already worked with you right then before that, and that was why.
Because you did something with it too, right?
My last tape that I guess maybe I don't even know, you probably know this, but my last tape that I had made before I went to work with Mauricio, that was the first time I ever worked with you. It was called Make America Dance Again.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. I almost want to restart because I forgot about that.
Shit.
I'm like, fuck, that was actually
I remember.
Yeah, now I remember. Okay, yeah. I'm like, fuck.
There was something before that.
That was you making me say, yeah, I blanked on that too. That was what it was. Okay, and then, because I wasn't even making music on Mauricio at that time. Mm-hmm. That was still in high school.
Damn, what a trip.
But then later, when you guys, because of that, he had worked with you prior, so he had just I know someone who's really good at what she does, and this is an example of something she worked with me prior, and I was like, all right, let's explore that. And I think that was such an awesome experience. At least from our end, I don't know about your end, but
yeah,
it was
I loved it.
It was awesome. I personally, I still have that piece hanging up in my room.
Hey.
I don't have anybody's pieces of anything really, for the most part in my room. But you're one of the ones.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. When I was making I guess the first project, that was an interesting time in my life. I think I was kind of really trying to figure out what I wanted to make, because I was trying to make a dance project at the time with raps on it, and I think that was the emphasis of what that project was. And then in that, I knew I wanted to I think I had some inclination. I guess I wanted to make more serious type shit, or more bigger scale shit, because I did want a doper cover. You know what I mean? And I did want something like that. And the next thing I did, I did link with Mauricio whenever I think I took a break from then, and that's when I started freestyling, because most of that stuff was written music and shit like that. And then that's when I took a break and started really just freestyling more so, because I didn't want to make music with, I guess, the people I was making music with at the time, and that, I guess, the way I was making it. And then I met Mauricio, and then around that time, I kind of just thought of you in the same instance of well, fuck it, when we were about to make a project and album art, I was I really like this one, because you said, it was some shit that I just kept, and shit that I deleted, of other stuff from my laptop. I was damn, I kept this on my laptop. It was a really cool ass drawing of the dude with those skates, because now this shit's not even out there. Now I just have it on my laptop, because it was on SoundCloud, and it was just some dude with skates, and he was in Venice Beach, and it was all these people dancing around him on skates and shit. That shit was crazy.
That was fun. I liked that. That was a fun project.
Right. It kind of, in a weird way, it kind of looked like me, but an alien.
Yeah, I feel that. Okay.
They all look the same though. They all had a certain look, and I guess that's something. Maybe, I guess I don't really have many questions and shit, but that's a question I guess I have. Is there your art? Sometimes does it have do they have a look? I feel they have a look, a shared look sometimes, the way the Who's and Whoville do. They kind of have
I used to think that when I would make little characters. I feel
some
they're
of them, they
little,
kind of look they look different, but some of them have they have a connection in a way. Is that something you feel too sometimes?
Yeah. It's funny that you explained it that way. I'm they're kind of a little community of some type of Whoville elf looking people, their ears be all
that shit's really cool though. When I think about it, I'm I feel that's kind of part of what we relate to, and I think why I think he really fussed with the art you did for that cover, because it was our first attempt at making our version of that, if you will, you know what I mean, kind of just trying to make our world, if you will, and it's that's something we're really into, and it's I feel your art really reflects that world world building or world like showing,
Yeah,
like mirroring.
Yeah, I love that. I love building little worlds. That's what's fun.
That's just interesting.
So, in that, how how is it building like the custom worlds for like another? You know what I mean, with having like the concept kind of like laid out and being like, all right, here's like building, having to translate that into your like combination of like your world that you've built, you know?
Are you saying like if somebody wants me to
for like a
build
commission,
their world?
Just how you feel about when you're doing it versus like on
Commissions
commission
and-
style versus like when you
yeah.
get in that bag. I feel like
Well,
there's
even
probably
just
a
the blending
very
of it.
difference.
like
I feel like I prefer to just create my own world and people like it and that's what they get, because it's like easier for me that way. When I do create other people's worlds, it's like, it's cool, but it's very hard and it doesn't really like flow the way my artistic like flow flows. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Like, yeah.
What about you? What do you think about that type of stuff? Because I would say that's interesting, because even coming from your perspective of like, you like drew the little sketch, you know what I mean? I feel like you do a lot of that within for us, you know what I'm saying? But also sometimes it is not for other people, even though other times you have, you know what I mean? But like even in that, you know what I mean? Like say like how you commission that out, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I can only speak from like the perspective of commissioning it out, because I haven't done too much of like big world building on that end for someone else. I haven't.
But something, I guess, yeah, maybe in that scale of just relating the like creating something that's gonna be for your particular world you trying to create, and then like, you know, that process of then like how do you feel about when it's like that versus like the shared experience of it, or like, you know what I'm saying, like when someone else, like say in that instance where you started it, right, and then we like then gave it to her and then we then put it to somebody else, you know what I'm saying, with the digital shit.
Oh, like multiple people working on like the same project.
I think, speaking from
Sure.
introducing the hidden member from Always, Shadow, I think in that regard, I think when, like in that instance as well, it was about kind of like building off of, like I feel like the idea of what we had for that cover, it morphed as time went on. And I feel like that's something in like doing at like having it from the perspective of doing something for yourself. So like in like where Summer says like you enjoy more of like that freedom of like creating something of like you put it out and like that's it. It is what it is. And like in that same perspective of like building it from here, from like the concept and from beginning to end, it's like seeing it as like, so like I drew the sketch and like when I was in class one day, I was doodling and I was like, I had known of like what I'd wanted to put on the cover. It was a mix of all the different songs on it in some way, shape, or form. And it was like just kind of playing around with that and like seeing how many like little Easter eggs I can like kind of like force into it per se. And then like that was just like the rough sketch, right? And so then it went on from that sketch onto the painting iteration. And in the painting iteration, we still weren't sure of like what we were doing with it. And when you delivered it, I was amazed. I loved it. Like visually, it hit it on like so many nails. The only thing for me, and I'm gonna be like 100% honest, was that it wasn't square. And like that
You were like
and I think I expressed it like even at the coffee shop that day, like that was the only thing for me that like at the moment I was just like because I had just had a vision for it, and you know, like I'm sure you can relate to it. When you have a vision for something, like it's just hard to stray away from it. And it's so when we hit that, when I saw that, in a sense, maybe it was meant to be in that sense because it inspired more to keep pushing with it in certain aspects.
Yeah, because I saw the finished product and I was like, this is cool. It was like a little animated,
the video
right?
was sick.
Because there was like a train going through and it was animated. I was like, bro,
yeah, that was
dope.
wow. Because
Yeah.
then someone else like did like a shout out to, is it Jin?
It's Jin something. I don't think it's like DJINN or maybe just JINN.
Yeah, but shout out to Jin. I think on Instagram he did like he animated it, but then after that we did like what you're talking about, which is that. I think that was a separate commission, I believe, right? To make it like, oh yeah, it was.
So it was 100%. Actually like, so it
wasn't the same dude, right?
No, it went on.
Correct. Yeah.
So after we got the painting, we went on and we did a digital version of that kind of rendition.
And that one was the one that I would say really made it like look what it is. You know what I mean?
That was the one closest to what. That's the one
like I wish he did a little video of like someone else did a video, like an animated video for us of like, and they recorded themselves doing it. I wish he did one of that one, because that would be crazy to see, because he did it like that, like, you know what I mean, on the computer, just like coloring shit in like off of yours. Like I wish I seen him like put that in yours and just been like, that would have been nuts, you know?
I would love to have seen that. Wow.
It was very interesting, because to see the way like that progress, and I would love to see that. Like I think that would be, I hope that this person is watching this and they reach out and they're like, surprise but after we got that digital rendition, like what we saw, and I was like, I think this would look sick if we made it into a puzzle. And so we actually had it like made into a puzzle from like some factory in China, and then like it came, and then we built the puzzle, and then from that puzzle we took the photo of it, and like that's the actual like album cover photo, I guess. But then that animation is something we had later.
I almost forgot that's a part of the actual photo that we put out and then got animated, because I forgot the puzzle pieces on the animation move. Okay. So when we sent it to them, it was already a picture of it puzzly, like
Okay, yeah.
I forgot about it. But yeah, that was some fun shit too. It took a long time to build the puzzle. Like I was like, we really like ordered it, and then it came, and then we're like, all right, like how many pieces? Like 500 or 1,000? And we're like, all right, 500. Like let's chill. Like put this together. Had to come back another day, wrap it up.
How many days did it take to?
2, I think. I think we did like almost like a whole good evening, and then we just linked up another day and finished it. Right?
Yeah. Put in some work on it a little bit while in the meantime, just because I had a little bit more downtime. I was like, all right, but it took about like 2 days, and that shit was
so we had like 3 heads the first day. We were just wilding with it, like getting the corners, the edges,
you always gotta get the corners of the edges.
It was hard because we were like trying to figure out what to build it on so we could keep it portable, so we had like a little plank of wood, and it was
but then we got it down, stood up table, took a good square picture of it. We're like, all right. And then eventually later on we were gonna put it out. I think is when we thought about doing that whole
video for
it,
for
like
the full
promotion, because we were thinking like a full album, like because it's a world building like type of. We're going with that. Like if it's one of those albums, like it looks like that cover, at least make it so people could just like look at it and it could come to life for reals and just bump the music same time, like type shit. That was cool, fun thing. But that was like our first one. And to be honest, we've done like cool ass covers. We haven't done nothing as elaborate as that yet, I don't think.
No, we haven't. Just, like I don't know why we haven't. It's been something. It was a fun process, honestly, and like all in all, and it was something that I think came out in like a really cool like finishing product, to the point that like people, it seems well received. Like people that actually look at the cover and like
the work put into it seems kind of like it comes out of it, I guess, in the response in people, because it's like some real like, I guess, like they don't really look at it like that. Is something like we're like, damn, a puzzle. Like even the puzzle itself, like I wish we just got to do something really dope. We've already thought about dope shit to do with it, like as far as like collectibles type shit, but like I just feel like it's just something that's just like so cool, like people would fuck with it. Also shout out to Juice from Fabulous Zombies. He actually did that shit later on, like recently he did it, but that's what I'm saying, like of his like brand that's like popping now, and I was like, damn, that's really fucking sick, like because I think that there is like it's a market for that, you know what I'm saying, like people would want to see like, and it's the same shit, like it's the same shit like with that you do too, like his brand for that is like popping. That what's it called, like Talking Terps.
Yeah, Talking Terps.
That shit is like crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
But I guess we can't speak on anything on that end, but can you speak on any other kind of like commissions that you've done or like any other
favorite ones.
Yeah, favorite one.
Because I guess like you said
Favorite
earlier, that's not maybe not your, you like your own shit, doing your own shit more, but what is your favorite, ones you have done?
Let me think. I have to. Okay.
Anytime you were surprised at it, you know what I mean, where you didn't think like you were enough, like you just were like, all right, I'll do it, they gonna pay me, but then you were just like, damn, this is really fucking sick.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever liked it. That's why I'm trying to think
crazy.
of a time that I like liked it, because there's been times where I've like made things and then they really like it, but like,
have I had that surprise reaction yet of just being like, yo, like, wow, this was something I really just crazily liked personally so much, like I would.
Oh, you know what? Okay, yeah, okay. So I made this little, like, I'll make these little clay characters. So, the drawings that I make, I like to bring them to life with clay. So then it's like the same characters. But then somebody had commissioned like a blue elephant with a scale, and that's what they wanted. And I was like, blue and purple. I don't know which color. I think it was blue. But that was really fun. I was like, okay, like I was like, I like this, because her commission like went along with my style. Like it had, like, I feel like when commissions go with my style, it helps a lot. Like if they're like, okay, just like make it your style, but I want like this thing, that helps. But if it's like I want it to look like this, I'm like, I get so like flustered. I don't know what to do, but
I get that.
I'll do it.
That makes sense though. It's like, it's like she just had something that just kind of like, when you said it, you were like, wow, all right, that's something I would make. Like, yeah, that's fire. I feel like for me, a random thing like that, I guess I've never really like commissioned something outright that wasn't like together really. I feel like Mauricio, but I did in school take like that class like where you had to learn like the pottery and shit like that.
That was fun.
And there was like one thing I wanted to make that was really dope, because for me, like I was still me, bro. Like I was still like I wasn't like as nice, but I was like, damn, I would want to do some dope shit. And like I was homies with different people in the class, and like one of the homies, like she was like, I was friends with like a lot of different groups of people, bro. I feel like that class was on some Breakfast Club shit. Ever seen the Breakfast Club? Like it was just like the right all different group of people, and like it was like me and my homie, and then there was like another dude that was a homie from somewhere else, like, and then everybody else was just kind of chill. But then the one girl over here, she was really good at like art type shit. Like I feel like she ended up going to art school or some shit. Like she was like submitting her portfolio, you know what I mean, like when it was senior year, to apply to them. Nice. But I asked her, because I was like doing some shit, if she could help me, and she was down to help me make like the Kanye graduation bear. And I think that's the dopest thing I've ever done. And you probably seen it at my house. It's like my mom got it like by the TV and shit, like, because like I literally like, and I had to put in work, like I had to paint it. Like there's some parts that look a little goofy because like I had to like paint the eyes and shit. But there was parts that she just knew how to sauce it better. Like, all right, I could just shape it to look like it, like the carving and shit. She really sauced it up, and it was just like, I feel like that was the dopest time where it was like I envisioned it just off like the drawing, and I didn't think it was really gonna be like come out to be the for real bear, but like she really did help me make it to be like the real thing, like because she was making like full on like sculptures and shit like that, like Mike Wazowski and shit. I was like, all right, if you can make Mike Wazowski, like you can help me make this.
That thing did come out really sick though, because I do see it like you said, right when you walk in, every time, like that thing's so hard.
I want to see it. You'll have to send me a picture.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny. It looks like a little small. He's sitting down. Because also you got to put in the thing. I remember that was the biggest thing I had to learn. Like you have to like cut like the bottom of it to make like room or whatever, like open or whatever, so it wouldn't. Because I'm putting it in the heat. So I was like, if you want to make it, they're like, you got to make it so that it's hollow. And like the only way to do it, they're like, he has to be sitting down like this, so that way you could just kind of do it from his head all the way to like, you know what I mean? So the whole inside is just like inside, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what? That's crazy.
It's sick though. It's sick.
But yeah, would you ever make anything like with your hands, like outside of like drawing it, like physically?
100%. Dude, I've played with like.
I never thought about that. I guess because it's something we don't thinking about. For me, at least on a day-to-day basis, of like, I don't know, just like I think of like, you know, graphic design, because we end up thinking of like covers and shit like that. But like physically making some shit is really like hard and like ill.
Honestly, since I was a kid, I've always been really like intrigued in like building stuff. One of my first like NG like or like career paths that I was like saying as a kid I wanted to be was like as an architect. I liked the idea of like conceptualizing and like building it and like doing with it. So I would play like Legos were like my shit. Like I would build so much stuff with Legos. I would, you know, whether it be like playing with mud or like Play-Doh and stuff like that, like definitely like making like shit out, like any kind of meat, like beyond that, but also just drawing with like crayons, markers, like it wouldn't be anything great, but it'd be like little shit, you know what I mean? Like growing up as a kid and even like going to classes and like as you have to, you know, do certain assignments.
You weren't eating the Play-Doh.
I wasn't eating the Play-Doh, but I was like,
why not? That shit good as fuck.
You were making shit with it.
I was making shit, yeah. And,
oh wow.
And like I even liked the carpentry and shit like that. Like I would thanks to like my dad, he showed me how to like, you know, use a lot of woodworking stuff, and so like I would build like I've helped him build some stuff like here around the yard, or I've also helped him some stuff that I built on my own. I don't know if it's out over the.
What have you thought of maybe like in relation to music? I'm curious because I feel like if that's something you just think of, I'm pretty sure you've thought about it in art already. Like,
what you mean?
Like in like anything like relation to like the vine tree, you ever thought of building anything physical? No, I'm saying like anything you've ever like thought of type shit of like physically like outside, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Oh, 100%. Like
I'm just curious to think like I don't know.
Part of like
on some Elon Musk shit, like I feel like if I did have those things in my head like that, I wonder what I would come up with every day to be like, damn, what I want to build today, like.
So, I mean, there's always. I guess we could start talking about it a little bit. I've already begun to build some stuff in the digital world, as I've shown you. Like I've built like little like a digital character.
I'm down to hear about the digital shit too.
But like to display like on world building, because I want to translate that to AR. Like I think that.
So you don't want to talk about no physical shit you build.
Like
I'm down to hear.
Like the physical shit. Like I feel like I can talk about, and it's just like generic ass stuff. It's like merch. It's like stuff. It's like physical.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm just curious to know. So then, like, never mind.
But like, or even like building. I guess like art pieces like that are related to the Vine Share stuff that I do like more often. Anytime I was in a class and they had me to do something that was like make something, it was more often not related to the Vine Tree. But like what I'm saying is like as far as now like physical buildings, like I guess sure like I
building. Well yeah man, that's fine. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't saying like you had to or no shit. I was just curious to know if you had anything like, you know what I'm saying, in relation to music that you had thought of like building. But you said more so like what you're about to say is more so in relation to like world building and like the digital sphere. You've thought of it as far as that in relation to music. And the brand.
I was saying
you thought of that.
I was saying in the AR field, because I think like the AR field is the blending of the physical and the digital world. Like that's where it ends up being like where you're still living here, but there's just like another layer added on top of it.
Yeah.
And like with it there's like a sense of, there's just been ideas of like building little assets that are like accessible in that sense. So it's like, you know, like say like our current like Instagram profile picture, right? It's that digital Vine Tree logo. Like that one is like a 3D model that I've built, or like the thing that spins like in that corner right there. We don't see it right now, but it'll in the video. It'll be but there's like a little
Kenny Beats that shirt. You're like in post.
Yeah, right there. But there's that little thing like was something that I built like with the idea intention of being able to have that be like a physical thing. If I could build that in like real life, that'd be sick. Like out of Legos or out of like, you know.
And I guess you're right. Like the world is getting so much like that like you could always make the argument that like that is what it will become, or that's what it's become, you know what I mean? Like that is what it is. Like building that is like same thing as building, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like it's building shit. Like say if you make a fucking same thing like that, like if you make like a TV show or some shit like that, and then you built like, or like well, that's even deeper though with the metaverse shit right now, where it's like ad space, like but they want to make digital space places where it's just gonna be people who are gonna buy to like have like put their shit as like ad space.
That as well. I mean that's
You know what I mean? Like building physical anything is gonna be like they're just gonna build it in a digital way.
Yeah.
You feel me? When we hit the movies, it's fucking from my pad. But I guess the weirdest part though is that do you think that at some point there will be like an extreme negative effect to that? Like these, like the combination of the realities, the same way that like people start to feel like that with social media and shit and are like extreme, you know what I'm saying? You think that there'll be like some type of same shit?
I'll break that down in a sec, but I want to get your thoughts on that.
I feel like in like, you mean like
the same way people kind of feel like it's like, you know what I mean? Like right now, that's still like, that's a thing. I mean, people talk about how it's
happening right now.
So I'm saying, do you think that'll happen with that? Like there'll be another oomph with it? Like the same way there was an oomph with this and how it's like we fucked with it and then we're like, damn, looking back, like we fucked with it too much. Like it's affecting us this way. Like
I feel like we never really were taught how to use technology. Like, for example, like in school, they always told you to put away your phone and shit, but it's like we could have been using like these, what were they $1,000 when we were in high school? No. I don't know, but you know, this $1,000 computer that you have with you all the time, you could be like,
somebody said that to me the other day and I was really confused. We were having a conversation about that because like my phone is like the new phone, and when they said it though, it was like we must have been turned or something. We were just like, what? Like it sounds a little weird to say that, like, damn, like you paid $1,000 for this, right? You're just looking at this shit like, what the fuck? Like everybody's looking at this shit like it just wasn't like this at the point in time, like $1,000, bro.
But even then, okay, so we have these $1,000 phones, but in school we're not learning how to use them. Like, what if like I don't know, like people who are really good at technology, who know how to like navigate it, so we could learn and we could be really smart. Like, you know, kids could be on their phone looking up how to, you know, teleport rather than, you know, how to build a teleportation time machine rather than looking at someone's Instagram post or TikTok, you know. Like, I feel like we just don't know how to use technology, and that's kind of what's making it take over or helping it to take over. So it's like kind of like humans getting in it will fuck it up in itself, essentially, because we don't know how to use the shit. But there are people who know how to use it. They're just like, let's just not all know how to use it. Like Elon Musk, for example, knows how to use it. So why isn't that information available to the public in part of like public schooling, you know, like knowing how to use it?
Damn, because it does get deep in that sense of like, where like the way it could affect just different people. And like you said, like, what if like people that aren't exposed to the ways, you know what I'm saying, to learn how to use the shit, and then but they still want the shit, and they find ways to get the shit, you know what I mean, get the Oculus, get the whatever the fuck, you know what I mean, but then don't really, you know what I mean, and then are they gonna be using it for like the dopest of capabilities?
Yeah, like that. I mean, I feel like stuff like that could help you in the sense, like, if those worlds combine, I feel like it could help
exposure in general is positive for people too. I guess, like, I can't deny the fact of like I be seeing grandmas with that shit, and I feel like it's popping for them. You know what I mean? Like, that's really like something real. Like, I look at that and I'm like, that is kind of sick. Maybe though. In the Oculus. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I could get, like, you know what I mean, like someone who really just don't want to go nowhere in their life and don't fuck with that, to like enjoy that and really get into that, like, that's kind of like a weird, like, that's cool. I feel like that's like a way of achieving some shit that I feel like we do need to achieve in a way, you know what I mean? Like I feel like people need like to still have like those little desires and shits in their life, and there are other things that like get in the way, and that shit just break that barrier of like, you could fucking do anything with this shit, you know what I mean? Go anywhere, see some different places, and experience it, I guess, maybe in like a different, like, you know, augmented reality way. Like, I guess that part about it I'm into, so I'm just like not against it. But I see how, like, what you were saying, people could fuck it up the same way they fuck up like phones and shit like that, because of like what they choose to focus on and like what is, you know, presented in front of them because of their conditions and shit, and like, you know what I'm saying, like, it may not be like all the benefits may not be like all the positive sides to it, you know what I'm saying? But I guess that's the risk, like, we take in advancement of shit. It's like some futuristic type shit, like some
I had seen this movie or TV show on HBO, and it was like this guy, basically he was Elon Musk, but it was some guy, and he created like this community of cubes, and then like you buy the cube, that's your house, and then like it's a neighborhood of other cubes, and then so in these cubes it's like a whole world, so they can travel the world in there because it's like a VR cube, but that's also their house, so they like live there, they eat there. Like, I don't know, that was just very interesting to think about. Like, what if we stepped into that in the future?
I feel like I there's parts, I want to know what you think about that, because there's parts about that I feel like are positive, and I feel like that's what I'd want like to know, because the parts I feel like immediately I think of are just like Wall-E. I just think of the movie Wall-E.
That
like,
makes.
that's
I
all
think about
see.
that a lot too.
But
I'm
I know
like,
that's not all there is to it. It's just like that's just like rings off in my head.
because we do
that
be
just,
trashing
like,
up the earth though, and that's what happened in Wall-E, and they had to live in the
maybe
spaceships.
that fool really had a point. Like, what if he was really predicting the future? Like,
I think that they are predicting the future in that sense. I think like movies like Wall-E, I think certain episodes of like Black Mirror, I think certain like other satirical forms of like whether it be South Park or like other satirical comedies or forms of stuff that's out there that have like addressed this kind of like predictive thinking of just like what it's potentially could look like. It's sad because like as you see, it's a mix of those two things, like one, not being exposed to it and not knowing about it, and like also the idea of like once you actually get exposed, like what do you do with it? Because humans by nature are just like we're seeing every day, I feel like more and more how easily we can be swayed by like the media and like by what's just been presented in front of us, right? And so like to a certain extent, like the biases in who gets to determine like the stuff that we know in turn like teaches us like what we're going to be shown, right? Like when we're talking about like the school curriculum and stuff like that, like I feel like it's also affected by people who are like, as much as it is kids not being exposed to like that, it's also these curriculums, these laws, these regulations are brought into place by people that are like in the way older generation who didn't grow up with it or grew up with it in like a different light, that they see it as like they don't want to explore it further in some aspects, and like that has stifled it, and like that perception of it of like we're trying to keep it of being what it is, and then like that with the hidden notion of whoever is allowing whatever goes through to like kind of forcibly be like, this is what you get to see when you do get to see it. Like I think that mix is like, it's a scary mix, and it's a scary mix to see where that leads into as technology goes further, and especially as we blend in like the stuff with like all the different techs. Like when you mentioned like for the elderly being able to enjoy like the VR, and I was thinking about that, and I was like, that's interesting because I know that probably lends itself to people once they have the ability, like the Neuralink thing, like
that's kind of what I was trying to get at.
You know, like that's a real future. Like that's something that is gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna be well received. I still don't even know if I would do it, like if I saw that it was safe. Like,
I think I'm worried about it for the same reason I'm worried about this, is just that it's like it's no going back. Like it's not a risk
exactly.
at that point. It's just
that's
like,
what it is. It's a certain decision.
You're all in. Like
it's a certain decision to be a
like that's like like what happens if like shit goes south? Like I'm just like I can't take the L on that. Like it's me.
You ever see like movies and shit where they like say it's like a vampire or like I don't know, other shit that's like eternal, right? And they make that moment of like from this point forward, like they used to be like they lived a normal human life, right? And then they get turned into something where
I like shit like that though. Don't say that. I like that.
But you ever see like from the darker side, like
I mean, he does go through fucked up shit that I will not like. There's one book I read, series I used to really like. It was a teen like vampire. It was called The Vampire's Assistant. You ever heard of that shit? They made a movie of it. Movie.
That sounds kind of good though.
But the one movie was like, it was fire. But the books were really good. But I'll say like some of the shit he went through was really fucked up. So I'll say that. Like I'm not saying it wasn't all fun and games, but a part of it
a mix
really
of living,
cool.
just a mix of living an eternal life, like, or different stories beyond vampires of like
that was it though.
any kind of being that has like eternal life. You just see so much, and like you reach a certain like, and it's sad because like now we're talking about like
like
the
there was
depressive
real
state of
like there was real like
humanity,
history.
You know,
There was real
that's-
like history and shit that he
wanna
had to
live
like
like
deal
that's
with, bro.
scary. You know?
No. No,
Bro,
I don't.
we would have to be on our Elon Musk shit. Like we'd have to have real history beefs. We'd have to start dealing with. So, like,
I feel
you know
like
what I'm saying?
I feel like it would be nice to live for a long time, but be able to like travel outside of Earth, like to do other things, you know, like some Star Wars shit or something.
I feel like it would be so much shit. Like I feel like say for example, like we don't know it's real, but say Elon Musk is someone that has already tested this out and is already this fool. Just say.
Okay.
What if he's doing this, right? Like imagine the type of shit he's seen in going through fucking these different times, like being this whatever the fuck age he is. Like he's probably seen some real fucked up bullshit that you did not want to encounter and really had to like dip out, do something, you know what I mean? Like really like that's what I mean. Like I feel like I don't know like what it would take like to just still be alive through it.
Exactly, and within that, like, that's the hard part.
That's the point, right? But isn't that the point? It's like, well, whatever it is, you're still alive. Like,
But I guess like,
But
and this is the
that
hard
chip
debate because
doing
like
that
in all of those examples, there's a mix of like, sometimes you're the only person that is the eternal, and like so you have loved ones that don't live that long, and you get to see them die. But if you're in a world where everyone lives eternally,
I'm down though. Plug me in.
you know what I mean? It
That's
changes
kind
the
of
game.
a different, yeah,
Because then
that
it's
really
like-
Plug me
changes the
in. Plug
game.
my
You
shit
can-
into the system. Then if everybody to his house is plugged in, like.
And then even consider it like this: what if you had infinite restarts in a certain sense of like where you're like, all right, shit, just
infinite restarts is wild.
because now it's just like if you can live eternally and like you can switch a character
what
like
is
this in a
meaning
virtual
then
world.
of life though? If we don't
That's
have
the
infinite
next
restarts,
question.
do you think people will even be hyped? Like they're not gonna be like trying to do nothing. They're just gonna be there.
You think
like,
people are hyped and trying to do shit now?
Yeah, because they think they got some meaning to it. And shit.
I feel that I agree. Like
Sometimes, like I
Yeah.
feel like there's, you know what I mean. Like if there's no chance of no meaning to this, like it's infinite restarts. Like I could just you put the cheat codes in. Like come on, you know what happens when you put the cheat codes in? You start just wilding, like driving all around, shooting cops. Like you seen GTA with the cheat codes in. Like you're not even trying to beat the missions.
I've seen Sims with the cheat codes.
Yeah, like you're not trying to beat the. you just doing goofy shit.
Yeah.
it's crazy. Then life will really be a simulation.
But I mean, if life was infinite, would it have ever started?
That's deep.
Like, if you had infinite restarts, where did you start?
I guess that's true. Like it's maybe. Well,
That would kind of
Well,
drive
there's
you
a
crazy
theory-
too if you remembered that there used to be a thing called starting, because we as humans know about.
I was gonna
what
say, isn't there a
time
theory though
is.
that like that shit just is like the same way like mushrooms, like a fungus, like we just started on some like organism shit.
Is this like on the idea of like rebirth? Like
Oh, I have no idea. I was just questioning like if everything was infinite, would it ever start? You know,
That is true though. Like
how
like,
could it start? I don't know. Like I guess it's
like
hard to
the
wrap my
start-
mind around the
whatever
start.
the start is on some God type shit.
Okay.
God, like just like level, like you know what I mean, just like or spiritual, just like you know other like I feel like to have the power to just like start some shit in
Yeah.
general.
Well, in
like-
like a vampiric sense, I guess it's more of like a curse
Right?
'Cause you're stuck
That's that's
on
different.
Earth forever, and you have to watch everyone you love die, like you said, unless you turn them into vampires. But
then
then you
isn't
might
there the
hate
parallel-
them living with them forever.
But shout out to the homie Ruben though. Isn't there a parallel that life is a curse and like when you're born you start crying and shit because you don't like you're born, like you don't want to be born.
I feel that.
Like I've heard that like
That's
birth is a
interesting.
tragedy. Like he's the my homie that always be telling me about like that, and it's kind of like I guess in that sense like that's the same thing. Like it could be related to all those things. Like life could be the curse. Like that's what they say. Like you know what I mean. Like you're burdened with it.
interesting.
I mean, it is rough.
Like the same way that's a parallel with the vampire shit. Like where it's like like you're burdened with this, but it's like you're already burdened with life. Like
And we're so vulnerable in these bodies.
that's why they say babies come out crying. I don't know if I believe that, but they were just like that was the whole like whenever was breaking it down, like, they come out all upset like because they're just like fuck, I did not ask for this shit.
I don't know if it'd be a curse because and I don't know, maybe this is just my naive thinking of a curse, but I feel like a curse is something that you shouldn't be able to get rid of that easily, in the sense of just taking your life. You know, if that's
This is
like,
true.
Sure.
you know, I don't know.
Sweet.
Like, as much as I'd like, because like, don't get me wrong, like I've been in that like mindset before of like, maybe it is just easier to go like that, like.
Maybe not easier, but we're just saying in presence though. Is it like?
But like in
is
the
it
sense
like-
of like, because life just feels like.
Even deeper than that, like the idea of purgatory, heaven, and hell. Like some people get like the whole idea of like, how do we know this is like? Some people are like, what if this is heaven? And like after this is it, or what? You know what I mean? What if this is fucking?
Or people think
you're in
this is hell.
purgatory and like
That, and that's interesting. That's an interesting topic because at the base level of it, it's a religious topic. So I mean,
I feel so.
to embark on it, you have to first and foremost like believe in that.
But say if you generalize it
those
to
concepts.
outside the idea of just being like an other world, it just said like people kind of have the idea of this being the middle ground between another world or being the final ground or being.
I'm open to the
before. Like that's a different idea.
I'm
Like,
open to the concepts
Just take
of
out religions of it and just take
Yeah.
out the idea of just like stages in life. Like, do you think this is the final stage? You think we got more stages? You think there's like a final? You know what I mean? There's a boss stage.
So I think, and this is,
Or you think there's like a medium stage, you know what I mean? Where it's like it's just fun and game stage.
I think that there is, like earlier I asked about rebirth because like
Mm-hmm.
I do believe in the concept of it, like to a very certain extent, because just like on like, say even just like on a scientific level of like our atoms, you know, what we're comprised of, like we are made of things that are, you know, that were like eaten like before, you know how I'm saying, like there's nothing that's created or destroyed, it's just all kind of repurposed in a certain way, you know what I mean, like in the and so within that I feel like even though there's like the physical aspect to it, I think there is like our consciousness or like our spirit, whatever you want to call it, to an extent that does kind of result in like to the same kinds of that feeling of like it just kind of gets reused in a certain sense,
like transferring.
Exactly.
So do you think anyone is any more significant than the other of this transfer, of this like wherever it'll be transferred to? I guess I'm saying stages it'll be transferred to.
I think it'll be within, and this is where it kind of gets interesting because like this, if I stay on the theory of like it kind of resembles like the natural sense of things, like what happens just like on the physical side, then it would be that bits and pieces just kind of like it just gets dissolved, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like whatever else is there in the world gets dissolved, and like however that gets like absorbed or like put into like another force, I don't know, like there's certain parts in life where you just can't explain, but there's,
I hear it's like some type of scientific law, like energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. So it's like it is like, you know, like
there's something there. I don't know what it is, but
like,
so you think some Scooby-Doo type shit's gonna happen? Like you ever seen Scooby-Doo when they're all just like woo, like in that little bin? That would be kind of fire. Like if we just if like we know we could be destroyed, but like you can't destroy this little fucking this spirit in me. Like it's just flying around. That was a good depiction of it. That was a good way they showed that movie. Whoever was like the guy on that was like, yo, we gotta show them coming out of their bodies. I wish I was in charge of that. The creative direction on that one, be like, yo, it should just fly. Fred should fly out of Fred's mouth.
That's deep, and it's got me thinking right now. I'm like thinking of like, you know what I mean, I'm always just thinking about like what the plausibility of things are, and like as I just get sitting here and I'm like,
that's too, don't get to that deep.
No, just like not of that aspect of like what I was thinking of, just like the rebirth, and it's interesting because it's just it sets a moment of thinking of like when does, and it answers and it kind of addresses the question of earlier of like when does life begin, Because the question is right now we're asking
Yeah,
like
that's the question that's kind of like
Yeah,
we don't really know
it's
till
never
it's
created,
over.
never
exactly.
destroyed.
But we're ending. We're asking like, is this the last step?
Yeah.
Because like even if this is, because we're saying like, is this a
Well,
middle step?
I was just saying, do you believe in that there's? I was saying, do you believe that there's more steps? Not just a logical. What do we know? Because I don't think we know too much.
I don't
of this
know.
Topic.
I don't know anything.
I'm not saying in this
shit.
topic. I don't think I know anything. That's what I was saying. I was asking like, what do you think? You don't think that this is any like, you know what I'm saying? Are you like, you don't have no like, you don't think that there's? I'm asking you like, do you think that there's another step, or do you think that there's?
I think I think
think there's a boss stage. You think there's like a heaven one. You think there's like a, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying.
But if there was a heaven, would it be forever?
That's what I'm saying. There's deeper questions to that of like, even if you think there is, then you think that.
question.
You know what I'm saying?
because it's described as the
that's
eternal
what I'm
kingdom,
describing
right?
it
So
as,
it's
though,
like
as
if it's
like,
forever,
or do
then
you
wouldn't
think-
that be like the Neuralink thing? Also, like if you're just going into there and like that's forever. Like if that, I don't understand. Like there's so many.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but
hard
I'm
to
asking-
grasp because like we're really tied to time. Like we
It's
just
one of
know
those things
time.
where it's like you don't really got to be right necessarily on, because it's just a belief. Because
Yeah.
like you just said, like it's one of those topics where you don't know.
Yeah,
I guess I'm
exactly.
curious to think like I feel like people.
I don't know if we'll ever.
I feel like
know.
people have feelings about it though. It's one of those things people feel really strongly about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they usually do. They usually have be like, yo, I think that there's this. You know what I mean? I think that there's that. And I feel like I love it because it's one of those areas where people feel strongly about that, and we all don't know. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
But we all feel extra strong about.
That's probably me. Excuse me.
It's all good.
No worries.
I have some shit that goes off like that like 3 different times, and they're never for like a real reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're not like for me to do something
Yeah.
like at that time.
Really
They're just like
just
old
to know.
ones that I never stop. Like I just keep them going like for fun. I don't know why I don't stop.
I
them.
do that too, but I always know. Like I know. Right now, I know it's 2:00. Like that's all.
Yeah, like there's one there like it says like haircut with like someone, you know what I mean? Like that's just been on for months.
Yeah, like
I got the haircut a while ago, but you know,
hey, just
funny.
gives you a little like, hey,
Just a-
checkpoint.
yeah.
Like
yeah, exactly. Like I'm here.
back to the concepts of time. Like now we
Yeah.
know it's 2:00.
Yeah, exactly. Also, is that a tomato tree?
Yeah, we were questioning that. It looks like a lemon tree,
This
like
one?
a mini lemon.
Close.
It
It's
is?
an orange tree. It's like a
Really?
little mandarin
Oh,
oranges.
we both got it wrong
That's
there.
so cute.
Some shit.
I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his ass.
But they're very citricy, like way more like lemony than orangey.
Oh,
It's interesting.
are they ripe?
Let me see.
I meant
Is
to
that
praise
how
this
big
one.
they're supposed to be?
Wait. Not that other one. The other one was so scary sounding. I've been trying to incorporate it more, but you know.
You gotta get it during a scary story.
Yeah.
I don't got none of those, but if you do,
I know.
shit.
I don't really tell scary stories. Oh, but dude,
Me neither. Thank you.
I mean, outside of that, I was gonna ask. I did see you do other shit with like how you say like dancing and fire. When did
That's
you
so
get into
fun.
that? 'Cause I know you didn't always do
Well,
that.
I had friends, and I see a lot of things where it's like people are fire dancing, and I'm like, ooh, that looks like it's probably so fun. So then, like a few years ago, I begged my mom. I was like, can I please have some fire fans for my birthday? That's all I want. And then I got some, and it's
That's
been pretty fun ever since.
Bruh, that's just like I feel like that's some shit I don't really come
Bless you.
across.
Bless
Some shit that people
Thank
just be
you.
like, yo, I want to like quick round with fire right now. But like you do it the real way. Like I see people do it. It's like, and I feel like even at one time I think I even seen you, if I recall, say some shit like on like how it's not that scary to do. Like you were telling other people like, yo, like you just gotta do this and that. And I was like, that's fucking crazy.
It's not that scary. I don't think so.
No.
Mm-mm.
So what's like, what is it? What do you fully do with it? Do you just like do like the things on like the 2 sticks, or the 1 stick that has the 2 things on it? It's very sour, isn't it?
Then you set you up.
I told you there's one
It's
of the
good
limes
though.
on
But
Gave you a warhead.
yeah, that for real. It's the fan ones, so they look like those like Chinese fans, you know, that like fan out, but instead they're like always out, and they're like made of wires, and then there's like sticks for the fire at the end of them. Oh, and then you take the fans and you like go like this, and the fire's just like, ooh, la la la. Yeah,
That's sick.
It's pretty fun.
It's beast.
So where do you do
But I
that
feel
at?
like it's easy if you practice it without the fire on. So then you know how to like use the fans, and then once you have the fire on, that's when it's not scary.
God.
It's
So where do you
scary.
like practice? Can you practice that wherever, or is that like do
I
you need like a
practice it
space?
without the fire, like at my house, but like with the fire, I go to the beach normally. But I feel like there's other places I could, like a grassy yard or something. I don't know.
Would you ever get a tattoo of your art? Oof, that's sick. I feel
That'd
like
be so
everybody
fun.
is like really down with that. Even like my tattoo artist, I got a tattoo of her shit one time, and it was just cause like I just wanted to get one, and I was looking through the book, and it was just like a cool drawing she did. It was like a guy's face was melting, and it had like a root going through it.
Ooh.
And I was like, that's cool. But what do you have some you have in mind, or just anything? Really?
I think I want to make like a lavender thing, like draw a picture of some lavender, get it tattooed.
Wow, that's nice. Like the plant like itself.
Out of curiosity, why lavender?
Because I love lavender. It's so relaxing. There's even lavender in my water. Yeah.
I like that.
I always get lavender drinks and stuff.
I haven't got any like
Lavender's
plants
lit.
tattooed really. I feel like there's things I forget about to get tattooed. Like I randomly come across people. Like the other day, someone told me they were gonna get the car from like the Frank Ocean album. Like that one you had got me the Ultra Nostalgia Ultra, and I was like, damn, I don't know why I never thought of that. Like that's not hard. Like I just feel like there's certain items and things I just don't think of often to get tattooed, and I'm just like, wow, like they're really sick. Like plants, like
Yeah, you could get a vine all
Yeah,
over
like-
you. There's something, like just
Yeah.
one vine that goes from your forehead and
like
just
a really
wraps
hard
around
vine
your
tree
whole body
somewhere.
down to your foot.
Oh, I think once someone told me something about that, because there was like someone said they have like a mic or music notes like connected or some shit, like connecting tats, and I was like, yo, I could get like, like a vine connecting some shit, like. But one day. But do you have any like, I guess, shit, before we get into like other random topics and shit, do you have any covers that you like musically, like you think are really cool of like other people and shit like that, like art wise, that you were just like, oh shit, this is great?
Covers?
Yeah, like album covers or like paintings and shit like that. Maybe not album cover.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like song covers, like where people cover a song.
Nah,
like yeah, that one guy covered Taylor Swift. Like, that was my favorite
wild.
cover. But
That'd be a wild question to just bust out with. Like, I mean, if you have your favorite cover, you can also let us know your favorite cover artist. Shout them out too.
My
But
favorite cover artist. So, yeah. Favorite album covers. I feel like I really like simple looking ones. Oh, you know which one I really like is that is that the album name? Watching Movies with the Sound Off.
yeah,
That's the name of the whole album.
yeah, or like one of those where he's like naked at the table.
Yeah,
That's a good
I
one.
like that one. I'm like, that one's nice.
That is
I'm
a
like,
fire cover. It does look sick too.
and it's like a red wall. It's all like
and it looks
artistic.
like it looks very like like secure. Like
yeah, it's very
this is
just
the
like
table, just like
this
right,
is what's
chilling.
happening and this is what you're getting.
I feel like it's a good concept. Good concepts or covers are really what make them too. Like sometimes covers don't really gotta have like a lot on them. Yeah, Shadow really barking at old people and shit. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
She
But,
doesn't let anybody walk by.
But what was it called? Like say but also like different versions of album covers. Like say like I mean like I don't know this is a common one, but like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I feel like that's one I like for that reason, that like the different versions of the cover were always really sick to me. It was just like a red background, but then it was like a little picture of just like a different like picture. Like it would be like one of them was like, and then when I really like because I was a little bit young, so I didn't get to see them all at the time. I only saw one, and then later on I was like, oh shit, there was like a lot of really cool ones. Like there was ones that they blurred it out where he was like, it was like little cartoons of him and someone else, like I think they were having sex, and there was like one where like the one they showed was like there was like him cutting a king's head off, and then there was like some other ones, you know, but it looked hella sick, and I was just like, damn, like I like just alternate versions sometimes I think of covers. Those are probably like my favorite ones when they come with like multiple of like the one but like slightly a little different, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, I feel like it just makes it for me. How about you?
I feel you. It's hard. I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm like trying to think of what my favorite cover is.
I don't know, definitely it could be something you really fuck with, like top tier.
Yeah,
you don't have to be like your
doesn't have
all
to be
time.
yeah, like your all time, just something that comes to top of your
Man on the Moon
head.
I have to shout out though.
That
It's definitely
nice.
one that like I guess for sure was always just like really well done for me. I was like, oh shit.
I feel like, honestly, I like ours, like that first album, like that. I think that
anything like that reminds you of that.
But I was gonna say beyond that, beyond like the normal bias of like of like I was gonna say Big Fish Theory.
That's hard
For Vince
okay.
Staples.
No,
It's
I
just
wouldn't
a
expect
big
that.
fish.
Yeah.
But I feel like the history books, that's one of those that's just is gonna look really like,
That one just looks.
you know what I mean? Like I could just see it standing out and just being like, yeah, wow, like it's pretty cool. Like I would grab that off the shelf.
Exactly. Like it's, I don't know, like it stands out, but it's like at the same time it doesn't have a lot going on. It's very simple. It's just a picture of a goldfish like super up close, but it's like, I don't know, it's deep because it makes you think like, why is it a fish? Like, and then it goes with the thing. I don't know. I like that a lot. I liked Good Kid, Mad City a lot. Honestly, I like just the van parked there. I don't know.
Yeah, that one and the other version. That was another one with the dual covers. I have the dual cover of that
That's
one, like
right,
at my on my room. I have like those are some of my favorite covers. I still have some of my favorite covers hung up like in my room. Is that one, but it's the one with him and all of his like he's like as a baby being held like on his like uncle's lap, and they all have like their eyes blacked out, and it's like his eyes are blacked out too as a baby, and it just looks real because it's like a real picture though. And I feel like the picture just looks almost like it's almost like I know that picture, you know, like it just looks like a picture I have, like a picture everybody has of like them and their family, like, and it's like, and then the next one's like the van, like, and then the van is so hard because it's like visceral because he raps about all what he was doing like in that van, like maneuvering, you know what I mean, like driving around, and it's like not even his van, like it's like the dead ass picture of that van. Like I think that's like, I guess like sometimes the stories behind them make them, you know what I mean? I guess for me I would say there was one I was just thinking of that was crazy like that though. That was like, it was not Good Kid, Mad City, but it was like I'll think of it later though. But there were some more cooler ones back then that I used to like I'm trying to think. Oh, hanging up on my wall, I'm tripping, that's what it was. Aquemini is like another one of my favorite fucking covers. The other one I have is Paid in Full, but that one I think I just like the album of it a lot, but like the Aquemini cover is my favorite. It's like a little cartoon of Outkast and Big Boy, and it's like them and like the chairs, and like it's just like a bunch of crazy shit. Like it's like a lot of like astrology shit at the time, and it was like in '97, so it just looks really like funky.
Yeah.
But if like, I don't know, I just liked their vibe at that time, and like the way they depicted it was cool. It was like 1 year out of the ATL and shit.
I was gonna say I liked, honestly, all of their Outkast had some pretty hard covers across the board, but I liked their Speaker Box and Love Below one. Just because I mean I'd have yet to see like another album styled like that, you know, with that like the back and forth like that. I hadn't seen it, or I'm sure it's been imitated now at this point, but like that, like the visual of like seeing them to like that left and right, but cut like into like, so it's so thematic, and it's like one's this theme, one's that theme. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Like that one stood out to me. Like, as far as I'm thinking of like, and Outkast has had a lot of hard ones, but that one out of all of them stands out the most to me. Even though Come and I was cool.
Would you ever paint a mural?
Yeah, that would be fun, I guess, if I had help. I would do it for myself for sure. I would do one.
But like if someone gave you space to be like, yo, this is your wall, like
do whatever. I'd be like down.
That'd be fire.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Imagine. And I feel like, wow, I just feel like the stories people can tell in murals or something. You know, they're just like they just like do like multiple pictures in one, and like you see a whole lives go by, and I'm like, that's what world building is really like. That's where they shine in that shit. Like,
That's facts. That's true. I think it'd be something to one personally do. Like on that tip would be super fun, and also just to have one, like, you know, whenever we have like our
of yourself.
Like no.
Like a mural of you. I got you, G.
No. I was gonna say when we have like our own like designated space of like you know, like a studio space.
I was gonna say
like that.
I would do that. Oh, you mean like to have like a spot to do like the mural on?
Yeah,
like,
I'd like to have like a community thing of like
so
bringing
hard,
like
bro.
just like a whole bunch of different people bringing like
if
a
I ever
bunch
get
of
like
different styles,
like a place where it's like the stew at, like, and there's like a nice wall on it, like that would be such a fire advertisement to have that changing. Like, I think that's something I used to remember in like LA. Like, it wasn't necessarily like murals, but like whenever I would drive like going to LA or like seeing like the downtown, I would always remember like those big ass buildings that would like change the posters and shit on them, and that shit would be cool ass. Like, I always thought that was cool ass advertisement, how it would just like reflect whatever the fuck was going on like in the moment at the time. You know what I mean? Like, it would always just be like a big ass thing too, like a giant billboard right there of just like so. But it was kind of like they would just hang a poster, and I would just be like, damn. Like, I would do that. Like, you think you got a pad, just like with the mural, just like change it up, have different weeks, different showcases.
I wasn't thinking of that, but that's an interesting concept. That
would be hard. You know what I mean? To just be like have it for people to just use and shit, like to do different shit on. Like,
I like that idea from the outside of it, because I was thinking more of having like one for the inside of like.
Oh yeah, that's some money on the inside. We can do like a whole different shit.
But then like from the outside, because I don't know, like on one side of it, it's dependent on like where.
Yeah, that's
like,
hard.
do you own the building, or how much can you like actually like alter it before they're gonna say some shit of like, yo, you can't have graffiti on the side, like they're gonna come and clean that shit, you know? But if you own like the land and you can say like, nah, I'm gonna do this shit and like have fun with it, I think that's a super cool idea, and I think that's like.
'Cause I've seen that at certain places. It would be lit if you could, especially in like certain places.
I agree. No, I think that's like a really really cool idea.
And it would be doper than like the basic ones you see in like Hollywood. You feel me? Like with some wings. See mad wings.
Yeah, there's so many wings out there. Okay.
You know, just walls with wings.
I mean, it is the city of angels.
Should be the name of this episode, Walls with Wings. Like, no, like, yo, they know what you're talking about, bro. Walls with wings. It's too many.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to talk about with you was about gemstones.
Okay.
And like, because I'm honestly not very familiar with them all that much, and so I was like, I know Wesley's mentioned that you work with like the crystals and stuff like that, so can you like.
Yeah, I feel like I've even told a couple people in my job, like when I did have my mine I used to wear at work, like a couple people in my job were asking me where I got them from, and I definitely shot them your IG. I was like, yo, this is where I got them from.
I mean, I feel like with a lot of things in life where it's kind of like more magical or imagination based, or like something where you have to use like your mind or metaphysical or something, you'd have to like believe in it for it to work. But crystals aren't really gonna like, because like I think the common misconception is like that you get a crystal and then it's gonna like change your life this way, but it's like it kind of just influences what you already know, and that's really what crystals do. But they are natural, so that's what I really like about them. It's like that they're really so pretty, you know. Like they come out of the earth and they look like that, like kind of like how plants do. Like all the plants here are so pretty.
I've seen you make like fire earrings with them.
Oh, thank you.
And I was like, damn, that's ill.
Yeah,
like,
it's fun to make jewelry with them.
They look sick. They look beautiful. When I was a kid, I used to collect rocks, and I had like quartz, like
yeah, the little
the ones that are cut in like
the
half
cut ones,
so
yeah.
I used to love that. Like I had like a whole bunch of those, and because they do look beautiful, and like I'd always admired them from like a visual standpoint. I just never known too much, like, because I know there's like a whole slew of different theories from them, from like a bunch of different things. But I know like on one side they like, at least like scientifically, I know they project like different frequencies.
They do, yes.
And I think that's like something that's super interesting. And I don't know how much.
In my opinion, I don't know too much about them, but I feel like from my like novice point of view, I would kind of look at it the same way I look at like sometimes I look at people with like, what do you call those dogs? Like those healing dogs. In the way that like a dog gives off a certain type of vibe that gives you a certain type of shit to you. But I sometimes be looking at them like, you just got a dog, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got a dog too. Like why is that a medical dog to you? You know? But I feel like it's the same, some sense in some way where it's like, if that can give you off this, you know what I mean? This calming thing. I think it could kind of like, those stones could probably give off the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, in that way. You get what I mean?
And I think just their beauty alone kind of affects your mood. So like when you get a pretty one, you're like looking at it and you're just like, it's so pretty, and then you feel good. That also like, helps. You know,
same shit with
like,
animals and shit. They put you in like a room,
so
a bunch of bunnies, bro. You're not gonna be in a bad mood.
It makes you feel
it's gonna
so
be
good.
tough. It's try to put a little frown on.
Or beautiful plants. It's hard to be in a bad mood.
And I will say, I find myself like clutching my shit a lot. Like when I'm just like chilling and like she's going on, I'll be like, like. And it's like, it's funny, but I don't know. I feel like I find myself doing that.
It's interesting because you said when you see it, like, it makes you feel good, and it's true because like that also kind of plays into like I guess realistically, like diamonds are one of the gemstones, and like gold is maybe not a gemstone, but it's like a form of jewelry that I feel like is something that is combined with gemstones.
They produce that type of like frequency too. Diamonds, you know, you get the healing powers from a diamond when when you get engaged, hard. You know,
that's
like
okay.
But like stuff like that.
I guess maybe that's why like people have changed and they have like, they'll get like sapphires and rubies and other things like
rubies.
Into them.
I'm wearing a raw ruby right now.
What? That's hard. You put me on that raw opal. I still have that one. I fucking like that one a lot.
That one's so nice.
It's really like cool. I never had no raw of stones. I mostly had just like, I mean, I maybe have found some, but not like of the ones I like, I guess, of like, you know,
they're
like,
normally like tumbled when you find them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's cool.
What would you say the difference is essentially between like the raw ones and like, I guess, a processed or a stone that's been, you know, like after you get it, like?
Basically that they would be treated, like the ones that after they get the process of tumbling and shaping or whatever, they would just be treated. So I guess they would have a different type of energy. I would think so. I feel like the raw ones would be more like of a natural energy, like whatever the original energy was. Oh, there's like a little
What's your favorite? Is your favorite having anything to do with your birth one? Mine happens to be only because I really like amethyst and that's my birthstone. But like, is it yours? Like outside of that, is it just one that you just like? What's
my favorite? I think I really like malachite because it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's really beautiful. It's like this. It's got different layers of green, so it goes from like green, like a light green, to a really, really dark green, but it's all like swirly and it looks like a puddle of toxins, and it's pretty cool. That's like my favorite mineral. I don't know if it's a gemstone, but
it's really fun.
Yeah,
I need to check that out. I like that one. Have you ever seen, I gotta know about this. What do you think about this one stone my friend got a while ago? It was like, I feel like it was almost like whitish, like rainbowish, but they said it was like, or no, like white, like whitish, but they said it was like very powerful. It was like one of those stones where like, it was a while ago, and they were like, oh, it's one of those kind of like rose quartz, you know what I mean? Like it's meant like for, it's like kind of like a lovey stone or something like that. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Did it have like a rainbow hue on it?
Yes, the rainbow hue.
What color was the stone? Was it white? Or it was probably like an aura treated quartz,
something like that.
So like they're not natural, they don't naturally come out like that.
I was confused.
But yeah, they get like a titanium treatment on them, and then that's what makes the rainbow color when you move the crystal. Yeah. They don't naturally come out like that. I think some do, like very, very few. Like a type of hematite. It's a black.
There's some where someone was like, there's some stones I guess some people, I guess, they're like sensitive to, or they say that there's like, you should be sensitive around or using. And I was like, I always thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Which ones?
I think malachite is one of those where it's like you're supposed to be sensitive with it. I know like there was like a thing going on where everybody wanted a piece of moldavite, which is like from space. But like that's something that's sensitive. But like, yeah, I feel like emeralds are pretty sensitive.
I did randomly hear that 2 Chainz got a piece of the moon. I didn't think that was real.
Ooh, that would be nice.
But like,
if
from what you're saying, I'm maybe thinking that like people are on the hunt for it. So maybe
we harvest the whole moon and our tides go away. Like
maybe people was already on it and I'll sleep. Like, you know, I'm already thinking it's unbelievable. Like they can't get it done. It's like I was already on the waiting list months ago for the piece of the moon.
That's crazy.
I always thought with that shit, I mean, like, I guess for that it's like it falls to Earth, but because there's some real things that I've like thought about, because I know that they've talked about like asteroid mining. Because that's like
there's diamonds up there, right?
There's diamonds. There's a bunch of different stones and minerals and different things that, from my understanding, are like highly valuable. You know what I mean? And like that, there's already certain projects that are like in place to try to take advantage of that in certain time future. And my question with that is just kind of like, and I know like I guess it comes down to like, since it's space, it's unowned, so like it's open frontier. But when we start to get the ability to like venture out more regularly to places like the moon or like, you know, like other planets and shit like that, like I wonder just how that's gonna work out as far as like being able, because like right now he purchased a piece of the moon, but do you know if it was like, is it like one of those things where it's like I purchased a star and like I just kind of own
it was like,
but it's like a physical piece, right, that just came down or some shit?
I don't think you could own it like there. Yeah, I think it has to be like the like just a little bitty ass like rock, like,
you know what I mean?
It's a chunk that fell.
Exactly. And so like I feel like that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And
they had an auction for it, you know what I mean? Like they had it and they were auctioning it off, like.
But shit. Once we're more able to like actually get that shit, like I wonder it's just gonna be like, well, as long as you're able to get up there, like fuck it, you can just go and take whatever you want.
I know, it's probably just right now because it's like you can't do that right now, but like once that happens, it's one. But like shit, 2 Chainz is like, oh shit, by then I've been cashed out by then.
No, 2 Chainz gonna be up there. He's gonna be on the fucking like, rocket ship getting the diamonds from the asteroids, bro.
That's funny. Yeah, man.
This shit's crazy.
What do you think about like space?
I don't know.
Like, would you
what's
go?
going on? Oh yeah, that would be fun. I feel like space is less scary than the ocean to me.
That's exactly what I was about to go with it. I was thinking that I was literally thinking of the connection I was gonna ask that. Like I was gonna ask, like, what do you think is more like, you know what I mean, like explored or scarier in that sense, you know what I mean? Like, you know how they say the ocean is like we don't know what the fuck's down there, like,
but that's
like,
kind of what makes it
more,
scary, because it's like, well, both are kind of equally scary, because it's like there's us, you know, and we're, you know, secure here in this world, and then there's space that's just like surrounding us completely. There's no escaping it. If you were to leave
like
this,
just underwater space,
and then the water is the underwater space, so then it's like either above or under. There's just equal things that are just, I feel like it's literally the same
shit, just underwater.
And that's why I think like mermaids and sirens or whatever fish humanoids exist out there.
Watch you hit like a black hole underwater.
Yeah,
I bet you still travel somewhere
like
else.
Some type of portals where you could, I don't know.
They don't know. They ain't never been under every rock.
I mean, but what if, you know? What if you could go underwater and travel? Like, what if that was the thing?
Shit, I bet the fish just would know. I bet space. Somebody underwater would know. We wouldn't know. That's the fucked up part. The same way like space, like they would know. Like they don't gotta tell us. They could decide to.
I was thinking about this thing one time, like what
Unless
if...
we find out on some like intel shit. Low-key, didn't they say like Area 51, all that was real? They were just like...
Yeah.
They just were like, yeah, we just weren't gonna tell you. Like, it was just in the cut. Like, we had them.
I was thinking about this shit one time. Like, what if you could get some type of spaceship and there was, I don't know, like the end of the ocean, wherever that is, and you just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into the ocean? Would it take you out to space? Like, what if it just looped out into space and it turned out, you know, in the future, scientists or whatever, it turned out it was the easiest way to get to space the whole time, and we didn't have to use all that rocket fuel. That would be crazy.
That would be fire if just science evolved to the point where it's just like, all right, now a couple 100 years ago we really couldn't figure out like that there was a whole nother pathway to get to space much faster. And now like with this new technology that came out, it's actually a lot faster to go right underwater in this submarine. Just gotta make a left and right. And then just black hole.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like something. It's possible.
Well, honestly, like like we said, we haven't explored that shit. Like we don't know what is and isn't down there. Like so and there's just so many. Life is full
Weird
of possibilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you never know where anything that at first you thought like, man, that shit's just fucking a story, and then like you see one thing that's just like,
what was that shit we were laughing at? Was the Jadakiss song the other day where it's like, it was the song Why, but he was like, he said a bunch of shit and he says why. He's like, why did Bush knock down the tower, blah blah blah. But the other one he was like, why the Terminator? Why they elect the Terminator? Like it was an old ass song, and he was like, why they elect the Terminator? And I was like, damn. Like, and when he said it though, it was like, it's shit that you really back then like do really be unbelievable as fuck. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he was probably watching the Terminator like what the fuck is going on? Like now this is the governor. And then I was talking to the homie, but he's like, bro, that's happened like a bunch of different times. Like exactly what you're saying. Like he was like, that's just like things like that are just happening a bunch of different times. Like where you're just like, oh shit, like I ain't never thought this was what happened, and then now you're just like, damn, this is exactly what's happening.
And that relates to the technology stuff that we were talking about earlier. Like it is just a matter of like how technology progresses, and like once we figure out that we can actually explore down there and shit, maybe there's a black hole that we can actually like take it further. It's like, but then also this is me getting my like my like self conspiracy back, because like of like the idea of like what's been put in front of us, you know, as far as tech wise, because like there's always like, I don't know what to believe as far as like certain conspiracies and certain things, because you hear so many things from certain sides. But we
all agree that moon landing was faked, right?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
Like I know I like to look
yeah.
into conspiracies, but I don't know if I believe anything that conspiracies say or anything that, you know, whatever's supposed to be true. Like I don't know what is.
It's hard
anything.
to believe it, you know. It's like
it's hard to believe anything though. Like either side of the story.
Exactly. And within that wave, it's like, I think that, I don't know. I'm just like maybe sometimes I subscribe too much to the idea of that there's just like an outside force out there that's just kind of like over, whether it be like as someone who's like just super corrupt and has like the ability to fuck around and really, what I was talking about earlier is like even like in the tech sense of like what we show kids and like what we teach them, right? In that same aspect of like what we're allowed to see. Like maybe sometimes like technology hasn't been advanced because we're just not allowed to be there yet. You know what I mean? Like I feel like as much as we're pushing frontiers, I feel like there might be certain gatekeepers that we're just unaware of that like kind of stifle certain like learnings and certain things to keep the ideas back. And with that like but possibility in the back of my head, it makes everything so possible in the sense of like all this stuff that we just don't know about, and it's just like, man, it gets deep. I don't know.
Yeah, same thing like the religious spiritual shit earlier. Like both of those be wormholes that like if you lay down in your bed and think too deep on, you'll just be like, man, don't do that shit. It's like one of those that's just like you really don't know, but like since like your existence, you've been able to like go into the wormhole. That's some shit I feel like is weird, you know what I mean? But it's like in reality, like that's one of those things like since your existence, you've been able to dive into that thought and like almost like play with death when you do it, because you're like, damn, like I really don't know this. Like why am I thinking like what's gonna happen when it's over? Like, you know? Yeah. But it's like since you've been on, you're able to do it, and it's always been that thought of just like some shit that could take you to the point of just being like, oof, alright. You know?
Yeah.
But hey man, I would say
switch it to something lighter.
No, I mean if you want to stay in the hypothetical bag, what would you think your life was before this? Then, if there is afterlives, like who you think you was before this? We was thinking so much it was kind of after past. What would you think was our past life?
Okay, in past lives, if time doesn't exist, which it probably doesn't, do you think that you could have been in the future in a past life? Like you could have been living in a futuristic world, or in the next life you live in like, you know,
I think you could have. I think you could have. I don't think I was.
Okay.
but I think you could have. Like, say like this. I feel like Mauricio might have been in the fucking future.
Because I feel like my past life was in the future. Because I feel like we're very far behind in this life.
I feel like Mauricio might have been in the fucking future. I think I was in the fucking like I was in like a solid time. Like, you feel me? Like, I think I was able to like I had some oomph, but like I think I was in a simple time.
Like the 80s.
Maybe though, nah. I think I could have low key been in like the fucking like I think I could have been like in some Asiatic days though, like caveman, like, you know what I'm saying, like before racism was really like we were just being on our more like territorial shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think I was like I don't think I would have made it then, like like when there was like really like, you know, like when I was getting like fucked up and shit, like I don't think I would have survived, but I think maybe before like I might have been in some biblical vibes.
Oh my god!
I watched a lot of that shit when I was watching my dad. Like when I was with my dad, he loves watching like he loves watching like Bible movies and shit like that.
Those are crazy though. Like I'll be watching.
I think I'm really from that time, low key. Like
you're like, damn, I really resonate with this whole like.
I think about the actors too. I'm like, bro, imagine acting in this shit, like the 10 Commandments and shit. Like,
oh my gosh, like the live action ones.
30s or 40s or whatever. It's just like a bunch of Romans walking around like, yeah, there's Jesus, like there's everybody. We're about to draw a roll of the Bible. Like it was crazy.
That is some real shit.
That's crazy.
My grandma loves watching those movies, and seeing the world in them makes me think. It's funny that you mentioned the idea of the future, because I never really considered that possibility, but that is some real shit of like being able to, because I mean that tip's kind of like I don't know what, like I was thinking like maybe like alternate reality in the sense of like you know how
the homie brought that up to me, Jericho, recently. In his response to the other concept he brought up, he said, what do you think about the multiverse concept, which you're just suggesting, like, and I was like, damn, that's a whole nother thing. It
is a whole nother thing, because it kind of like it lends itself to the idea that in a certain aspect you could already be living a life that is a future life, or already a life that is a past life, you know, as far as like technology and like evolution, I guess you could say, like where on that end of like
Rick and Morty did a good job of fucking my brain up with that one,
but
or I didn't really understand it that much, and they were really just like, damn, like I could see the like as much as I could believe a lot of these other possibilities, I could believe a little bit of like on multiverse. Like basically, if you believe in like rebirth and like past lives and second lives, it's almost like why like this isn't too far fetched from it.
Exactly, and it's hard. And I was thinking about what you were asking me. It was really determined who I would have been, or you know what that really entails, because like. It comes into the question of like, when does life start? You know what I mean? Or like, when does that like cycle kind of repeat itself? Like when if there is like,
but say it's an infinite, what you're saying, like where it's just like your spirit is here, but like it probably was like, you know what I mean? Like you don't got no memory. Say like that's the simple thing. Like you don't remember your other life, but your spirit is your spirit. Yeah, because I think that's kind of where we're going off of, just like where your spirit is from previously.
But even within that, like what I'm thinking is like, what is it like? Because like, and this is like,
do you think you've been here
and
before?
This is that deep religious, or
do you think do you think you've been here before? And in the sense of, do you think you've been here before? Like when you feel like you've ever been here before, do you feel like it's like damn, I don't, like you said, like we're far behind, or is it like, damn, I've been here before, but like on the tip of like I've been here in the past before. It's like I feel like I was here like years before. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's the different feeling of like everybody sometimes feel like, yo, I feel like I've been here before, but it's like the way in which you've been here before. It's like, do you feel like, damn, like it's a hindrance? Like, damn, I'm still here. That's the futuristic, I feel like, aspect to it, where you're like, damn, I'm still here. Like I feel like I've been here before, or it's like, damn, I feel like I've been here before in a reflective sense. Like, wow, I feel like, you know. Like, wow, I've been here before.
What if deja vus are like moments when you line up with one of your parallel realities?
Ooh.
alternate realities, and that you guys are both just like kind of aware of each other right now, kind of like, why do I
That
remember
would be sick,
this?
because I feel like it does feel weird when that happens.
It feels like you're
sometimes.
experiencing it for the first
feels
time, but
strange.
like you're experiencing it extra, like as if you remember it, but it's like I don't remember
Like
where I
in
remember
doubles,
it.
yeah. It feels like you just had a dual
Yeah,
experience of
like-
this. And it's like, what? Like, why do I feel like I had a rerun of this?
I also feel like for as far as like reincarnation or something like that, if which there has to be are aliens, then we would probably reincarnate through aliens too, and they probably reincarnate through us. Like in the next life you could live on a different planet and you don't even know what humans are.
You guys are
But-
making my life much easier. This sounds amazing. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
like-
over here struggling, thinking and not a
like-
damn, like, heaven, hell. I'm like,
It
bro,
would be
I
nice
could,
to
I could
just
pull up as
yeah,
a new
like
alien.
you know what I'm saying?
Do you think there's
that'd be
aliens
fun.
currently with us right now?
Yeah. I mean, especially underwater, I think it's just kind of like some of them must have came down.
no.
Some of them must have came
Have you
down.
seen that new jellyfish that they had found? Well, the one they found that they hadn't seen for like years. I think I had showed it to you because I was like sketched out on it. They hadn't seen it since like the 1800s. That was like maybe like the last sighting of it, and they had only sighted like 3 before that, and they sighted one recently, and it was called it was like a shadow jellyfish, and it was huge tentacles, and it was dark, bro, and it had like it looked like a little character.
That's
They
crazy.
were like an anime character, and it was just like had like wavy like tentacles that were like black, and it was just like dark black with a red light, just like
That's
big
pretty
as fuck,
wild.
bro. And I was really thinking about it, like the way it looked was just like on some like on the frequency of, and also how much they had seen it. I was like, bro, like what makes this different than the alien? Dead ass. Like, it's just some shit they have. It's like a Pokemon. They've only seen it like 1 to 2 times. They done caught one. And it's like this one only comes around once every
Yeah.
million years. Like,
But I feel like if you believe in like angels or demons or any type of like character from folklore, like a elf or fairies or anything, then you've got to believe in aliens. Like they're all just like the same thing, like things that we never see,
I did wonder.
but we all know about
I used to
them.
think about the Loch Ness monster a lot when I was
Oh my,
young.
me too. I used to obsess. Like I'd be like,
Right? I think that was the thing that killed my like full belief in it, because I really believed it was real, and then there was like people trying to overdo like
Trying
to
to
like
burn it out.
disprove it and shit. They were trying. That was the one that got them hyped. Like they were like, "Ain't no way."
like just let my imagination run free.
Then I was like, "All right, well, I don't know what's real anymore." Like,
I feel you. I feel like those were great times though. Like I remember that like very vividly. Like for me, it started with like Scooby Doo. I think had like a Loch Ness monster episode. They got me thinking. I was like, "What's good with that?" And then I was,
Yeah.
and then there was like another movie that came out that was like, oh shit, it was the one where like they raise it in like a bathtub. You know what I mean? Where it was like,
yeah, it might
Did
have
some
had to
kids
do with, like,
find one?
Godzilla or some shit.
I don't know if it was Godzilla, but it was like based on like Loch Ness monster type, you know. But like, it's like some kids stumble, and like it always seemed interesting, and like the concept of it is like, it seems possible in the in the idea of like, you know how you said like they found skeleton or this fish that they haven't seen in
No,
so
they
long,
found
right?
one alive. They
Like-
caught pictures of it. It was Monterey,
Yeah.
the aquarium. Basically, like they put cameras down there now, so they don't even gotta catch it.
They just gotta look at it.
They just
But-
gotta have the cameras and run back like, yo, what was that?
But in that vein, like there's already like historic like examples of say like big ass fishes, right? That have lived, that we've known, that are like ridiculous sizes or ridiculous looking fishes, and so like you never know what is even further down there. Shit that's like maybe it lived at some point and its bones are just like stuck at the bottom. Maybe it wasn't there, but it was like somewhere else that like someone saw and mixed up the spots.
Exactly.
Like you have no idea how many
Maybe he
people
kicked it for,
fucked
like,
up
a
maps
month.
back in the day. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
they kicked it for a couple months. Pat died. They just never
That's
seen him.
kind of like stepping into like, have you ever heard of like I don't know if it's a conspiracy, but like dinosaurs never existed because the bones,
I've heard
you
about
know,
that.
they were all scattered everywhere else,
I've
and we
heard
just
that
put
the
them
dinosaurs was
together.
cap, and I was like, ain't no way.
'Cause
But
I'm
then
like,
the only
but
thing
at the
that made it
same time,
confusing
like-
for me was the asteroids. Like they started adding in how like they got destroyed by the asteroids, and I thought that was real. But like the way they explained all of that, it started getting shifty because it was like, well, then you have to believe certain scientific things to believe that it went down this way. And I was like, well, then nigga, I just thought it was just like regular organisms, like they were alive like us, like because I could see their bones. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's the weird
Yeah.
part. It's like they have their fossils. So what the fuck, like.
Yeah.
Where were they? What was theirs? What were those?
But like, I don't know. But I feel like the world was so beautiful when dinosaurs were around.
They make it look nice
like
in the
really-
shows.
in the movies, yeah.
It does look badass. Like it looks like I wanted, like no one was there but them, just ruling the world. Like
I mean, we still
But
have
that's some real
them.
shit. It was them. Like we would be like the prey. We would be like the ones like just kind of chilling, like hiding. You know, hope not to get wrecked by that T-Rex.
Cavemen.
Like, yeah.
yeah, they would just be in like the walls somewhere, just like
Yeah.
no, I'm not going out. I'd just rather die in here.
Just watch it from outside, like that's cool out there.
But I mean, there's hella dinosaurs in the Nile, so crocodiles or
Exactly.
alligators.
Like, aren't they big? They're just
I don't
bigger
know which
lizards,
one.
you know. So
Dinosaurs
it's like
in denial. They do look like dinosaurs.
They
so-
are
They
dinosaurs.
just don't
There's
wanna be.
no way. Lizards are totally dinosaurs.
Or like, aren't Komodo dragons? Haven't
Those
those,
are
lived for like long ass times?
dinosaurs.
Like those, like
Komodo dragons give dinosaur vibes. Okay, those I could give it to you because they, the way they act, like, you know what I mean?
it's a little too dinosaur to me.
Yeah, like they don't act like a cat or
I
a
feel like-
gerbil or like a dog, like some other pet. You know, they really just be like going, like walking around, just like kind of licking and like barely moving, like kind of just crawling and
Yeah.
shit. Like they just
Snake.
be like.
Those giant like anaconda snakes are like dinosaurs. They're like
Okay,
sus.
that was the see when I started
Yeah.
seeing those, I definitely did feel like okay, I was like I see there could be some weird animals out there because anacondas just didn't look like regular ass animals to me, bro. I'm like that's a dinosaur. It's a giant
It's a
ass
giant snake. Like
snake
it
that
could
can like
eat you.
it could
like
take down this whole thing like, if he wants to.
yeah.
That's facts. Do you think there's ever going to be some crazy big animals like that in the future?
I think so. I feel like yeah. I don't know why not.
I don't know if there'll be anyone like that, but what I think will happen is unfortunately what we see happening, but maybe on a bigger scale, is like the climate will shift and
So,
like they'll
like-
just pull up.
That'll force them to be like to be like on some King Kong or like a Godzilla shit. Or
They'll just feel more comfortable kicking in here. They'll just be like, oh, this is like, it's a little hot over here now. You just gonna see a couple of fucking like random ass animals you've never seen pull up.
it gets too warm in the water. All those shits in the bottom, all the fish that are on the
You
bottom
be
will be like,
swimming
oh
one day,
no,
you
they're
see a
gonna come
couple
right up.
anacondas in the water just swimming. Actually, I don't think they
There's
can
water
swim that
snakes.
far though. There's water snakes, but
I don't know
like,
if I don't anaconda.
yeah, I'm saying that's
but
pretty like across oceans. You know what I'm saying? We'll start seeing some tropical sharks
shit that
first. It'll be first the tropical sharks.
that
Tropical
mixed with a
sharks.
little bit of radiation from the nukes they're about to fly.
Yeah,
And then
I
we'll
don't really
some
know.
real
That
shit.
shit is some. That shit's some shit. I hope it doesn't go.
No, I don't think I
To
don't think
that
it will. I
much.
hope it doesn't.
You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that it just kind of. This is all we hear from
I feel
that
like
stuff.
nukes are one of those things that
I don't want to be one
It
of
really
those
just come
times
down
like
to,
in
like-
that 70s show.
like-
Like, you ever seen that 70s show? Like just how they depict those times of just being like, yo, like everybody was getting lit because I was like they were just like worried that shit was really just about to go south. Like with that, what you're speaking on.
I
Like,
think-
that was like that worry was at like an all-time high. That like
it was, and I think sadly, I mean, thanks to them having to worry like that, it kind of brought the idea and shown to light that like the idea of like mutually assured destruction, where like if that shit really did go down, like the retaliation of like, well shit, I'm not gonna just die, like if we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, like.
It
And
did
so
feel-
people
it
are
did feel
like end
that.
up
That's
like
why everybody was all under like coming together shit because it looked like it was just gonna be a world fucking war, but
exactly, and so it,
shit, bro.
I think that kind of gives at least like some peace of mind to that aspect. I feel like nuclear options are hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed, like last resort for like any kind of countries involved in anything, I think. But I think
hey,
that there
if
is
there
still
is, I mean-
radiation and shit that is going on beyond
that's
that
the fucked up part
that
is
can
that,
still
like,
affect other like
That
animals
shit's
and
that shit's
stuff.
big going on already. And it's affecting the animals and everything. I remember I had to do a report on that. Like I had to take an environmental science class sometime, and like you had to look at the areas that were being like polluted and shit like that, or like from plants and like other stuff. And I guess that does like you said, it's already exists in a way. It's not chemical warfare, but like it's, you know what I mean, like it's strategical in the sense of like the way that they, you know what I'm saying, like in certain places that shit is not already kept up, but
Like think of it in this sense,
it could
like,
get fucked up.
like there's people use pesticides and shit on plants when they're farming, right? And like in that other, I get it that it like to some extent is necessary, but like pests end up becoming immune to it, and they end up like evolving and becoming stronger, you know, as a resort. And so like even on that aspect of it, like I feel like there's always that possibility that we just might try to overcorrect sometimes and like doing like this, and what it, like you were saying, like maybe the temperature is what causes whatever it is that's bigger, like something like a big animal to be
but
like
I guess
pull
a
up.
part of that is somewhat nature, in the sense that like that
This is
just means
the
there's a
evolution
new
of-
predator, there's a new prey in that ecosystem now. Like that's somebody got to be food for that, unfortunately.
Facts. Do you think it'll this is a real question, do you think humans will ever lose their dominance as
I think we're on the way out.
how long is
The time
how much we
limit,
got?
that's the tough part. Like I would hope we got like a cool another 500. I hope we got another 500 years in the tuck before we just like phased out of being like the top dog. Like we're just like as existence, like
Top
our
dog, like on the planet.
just like our existence starts to like, you know what I mean, like dwindle out a little bit. Like, you know how people come like extinct, like species
Do you
become
think an
extinct.
alien will come in and like
It's either aliens will over surpass us or monkeys will.
Yeah, somebody will take over.
Either.
Someone's gonna take over.
Eventually. Or I don't know.
interesting
I don't know.
I think
on
like,
some
you know,
Planet of the Apes?
I mean, honestly, I
possible.
already think monkeys are smarter.
there'll be some
they
of us that
know
will
not.
survive,
I feel like they know not to evolve into us because they're like, I'm not trying to pay to live here.
That's deep.
Like,
That's
you know,
interesting.
I'm not
and
trying
they
to
do
be a
looking
slave
kinda
to
at you kinda
society.
dumb,
They
like
be
throwing
like,
poop at you
bruh.
and shit. Like, you know, I could just
They're
throw
like, you
poop.
know I'm
like,
eating good, right?
they
And I
give
could
me
just throw
food,
poop. Like,
and I'm almost as smart as you. Like, come on.
That's true.
You're like, you ain't got it figured out yet.
and all humans, like, we all speak different languages. So then, like, it's not like we can really communicate better than monkeys. You know, like.
They used to be laughing. They'd be like, "Shh, all you got is thumbs."
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, thumbs. Huh.
Don't they have them stuff?
I think they
Oh,
have
they're the
thumbs.
ones that
They
got
have
thumbs.
human
What
hands.
do they have that we don't have then? What was the thing?
I
they
think it's
don't
just like like to some capacity brain power.
Yeah.
have?
But
That's it?
that like our we're debating right here is though it's just like maybe
Oh,
it is
they're
that
like-
they
they're like,
have
"What,
it and
I
they're
want
just kind
that."
of holding back. Like
Yeah, they're like, what I want that. Like, that's where all the stressful shit
Because,
comes
like, what
from.
if they are smart and they're like, okay, like, we're just not about to
Yeah.
get to do all that.
Just think about it. Like, there's a bunch of things they could do with the smarts, but what if, intrinsically, whatever they do with it, whatever they gain, it comes with a much. What if they're on some monk shit? Like,
No, because
yeah,
monkeys are crazy.
What if they're monks like monkeys?
Oh,
I
that would be
didn't even
so
catch the bar
nice.
of monk and monkey, but like, you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, what if that's their
I
life
feel like
path?
they
Like, they're
would.
like, whatever I do, if I indulge in any of these things, it'll just ruin my life. Like, they're just like, it's simpler this way. Just banana, poop.
Meditate.
I mean, it's very possible. That is
Because
very.
they're really fucking smart. They're not like that dumb.
That's interesting because they are very smart and they're like the closest things to humans as far as actually.
I mean, no. Apparently,
a banana
the ones who are like pretty much equal to us are octopus.
Ooh,
Yeah,
interesting.
so they're like actually
Bro.
super smart.
Also, I mean, this is weird. I was watching this. Like, I don't think no one's probably gonna believe me, but like, there's like a doc where they say that mushrooms, like the organism of mushrooms themselves, are like the closest thing to catch up to us.
Mm-hmm.
On like how fast they developing as an organism and they can repair themselves and shit like that. That like they'll just essentially just like, feel me? Like we ain't really like upgrading that fast. Like just as a living organism, but plants, I think, will outlive us all in general.
They
If
already
you
have.
get if you get into that, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think it's
what the
crazy
fuck?
how some trees are like 200 years old.
You know what I mean?
300
Like
years
that's why I
old.
think they'll pass it, because it's like living shit in general like that just be going.
I wonder why turtles live forever like that. Like why they surpass us.
Are they like a plant with a face?
I know that. I mean, they do. They are vegetarian and they look like plants.
Do you think, in that vein, that humans aren't the top species right now? Do you think plants are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they've always been the top species, plants.
I know.
Because even say we decided to get rid of all plants, then we wouldn't breathe. Because we
We wouldn't be able to be humans.
Oxygen or Wi-Fi.
you know what I mean?
Welcome to the sci-fi.
You know, like you, to a certain extent, they've kind of always been the dominant forces. They reach further down into the ground than we can in certain aspects. They have like
They reach higher up to the sky than we can.
exactly. That's deep. It's interesting.
shit. You guys want to get into the life affirmation segment?
Yeah.
I think we got into a lot of deep cuts today. Unless you guys want to talk about anything in particular having to do with art, painting, or jams, or anything like that. But I think we covered a lot of the base topics today.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I mean, I don't know if you know this. I never thought about this, but where's your name come from? Like it being Summer, is it like a specific reason, or is it just cool?
I just have it. That's just my name. My parents were like, "I'm gonna name her Summer."
Cool.
And I was like, for sure. But I was born in spring.
Asked about that, but I just
not summer.
Got you. I just didn't think it was a reason, but I don't know. For some reason, I was like, maybe there is. Sometimes people have like cool names and there's a reason behind them, or sometimes they're just born with cool ass names.
I don't think I had a name for like a couple weeks, and then it was Summer. That's, I guess, the only backstory behind it.
Bueno. All right, man. The life affirmation segment, you know, we talked about it a little bit. We just kind of go around and say something we look at differently in the past month or year, 2 weeks, or a day, or whatever really, but on the time limit. And do you have anything in mind this time? No, I can start it off again like I usually do.
I've been thinking about this one. This one's actually something that I've been like.
All right, go ahead then.
Thinking about it a lot. Is trying to dedicate, like having like a more. This kind of talks into the plan of like I was saying like earlier when I wanted to be like an architect and stuff like that, of like building things, right? And I like the idea of conceptualizing. So lately I've been conceptualizing a lot of like how I would want to build a studio space, and like a mix of like two things of like what's like the most ideal for like, say like current to my situation of like possibly moving soon, and like how much stuff can I physically take with me as far as like equipment and like instruments, and I have to like kind of consider that. And then so that made me think of like designing a space around that, and like what are like necessities, and like how much stuff do you with that in mind. And then also thinking of like the idealistic of like what's the best case scenario if I was able to just like build like my full studio in a certain way. And this was also kind of like reinforced when we went into the studio session last week or so, and kind of going and seeing through that, and like seeing some things that I would take away and seeing some things that I would change, and like have like more personal to me, and like in a certain sense of like workflow and certain things. And I don't know, it's made me really think about that a lot.
Interesting thing I learned about that was like the mouse thing. I didn't know like mouses are so important.
That mouse thing was interesting because I don't know why they default.
If
you're gonna default,
everybody,
leave a
like,
mouse.
it's interesting
leave
that like,
at least
people
like a
have
default
preferences.
mouse. Don't leave one of those special like circle
to
mouses.
Me, all of this shit is interesting to me in general because I don't even use a mouse. I'm a patty guy.
Same.
So as I'm saying, like I was like interested that like, but I know people like have an affinity for mouses. You know what I'm saying? Over pads, just like that when they're using computers, and they be like, "Yo, like I need a fucking mouse." But I just didn't even know that there's within that like. Motherfuckers be like, nah, this kind of mouse, like da 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 versus this. So that was my time really learning, like, oh shit, like that studio ass mouse is like it's just that studio ass mouse, like it's not even really good to use, really, like or functional for most shit, really. In my eyes, because like the wheel thing is like I see it most common, but I'm like most people are more generally able to use a mouse for what it's used for, just like a mouse.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Like, did that shit have any? What is the benefits of that wheel thing?
You could just scroll better.
It just looks cool. I think it just looks cool.
And you can kind of like.
I wouldn't know though, but that was just my lesson on that. Where I learned about that. Like, okay,
it's like a slight mix of the pad with a regular mouse because it gives you the ability to kind of like how you would on here would kind of like scroll through like that. You can use that same motion on that ball, so it kind of like.
I get that, but it's only for the person that maybe is so much used to the pad but wants the mouse effects.
It gives more. That mouse particularly that was there is a mouse that just kind of gives like the most options for utility.
Because I like that, because you know what I'm saying, because I don't really like mouses. I'm more of a pad guy, but if I wanted to use some mouse shit, that would be a good one where I don't have to like I get to use both. It's a good mouse for utility wise, but it's one of those that unless you're used to using it regularly, because it's one so bulky and so big that like it's a mix of comfortability
to begin with, and then like having to adjust to something on the spot when you needed to do something quick is really difficult, because like you're trying to like you're kind of like reteaching your body certain habits of like, okay, this button is here, this button is here. What was once natural, like a just quick click here and here, is now like a physical kind of like you're reminding yourself like, no, I have to do this and this. So I could see like that aspect, but I was saying more so just like for the vibes and how like certain things were set up like positionally, and like how I want to approach that with building a studio. And then also like I might have mentioned it before, I don't know, on this pattern about like, but having a studio space that isn't connected to my room, because as much as like I like having the ability to work on something at any given moment, having a studio in the same place as a bedroom is just not conductive for what I need it for. I need, as much as like I like that open, I'd want to create an open space where I can just kind of go there and still be free with it, but I don't want to have it be the same place where I sleep and stuff, because that is not a good thing, because like your body just naturally will want to go into certain modes and certain things of like, I shouldn't be having this stuff around when I need to have other things around to focus on things. And so it's been a lot of that, of just kind of like learning how to structure my ambiance around me to what do I need to have around me to get what I want forward, and what's the most ideal way to do that. Yeah. What about you guys?
I feel that.
For me, I would probably say I've been thinking, I guess, just about, I mean, I've had a lot of different life affirmations. I also can't really hear myself that well anymore. I don't know.
And I don't know why.
I heard that earlier too. I don't know what happened. Is that mic off? Is it still recording?
It's off, yeah.
Is it still on there, picking up? Okay, but
I think it might just be because it might have gone a little further, or you're just not talking as loud, but
it's all good. Oh, there he is. Damn, my bad. But that was only for like the very like last little couple things. But I was just gonna say that for my life affirmations this week, it has to do with maybe my music and path on like what I'm gonna do next, just with like songs and like album and shit like that. Because we went to the studio recently, so I guess I was just thinking of that and like positioning what I want to work on. And then something I thought of, this was like a brief thought having to do with that, was, well, I mean, there's two parts. This is two-pronged. One part of it has to do with the idea of just making my account in music, because I haven't made one personally, and I realized like the importance of that, I guess, in like the sense of just being able to like, it's just a battle sometimes in like claiming it, and you have to like get in there and like start the process of it to get like other shit going for then, you know, or maybe I just feel like I underestimated the process of what it could take to build up your name with it, because I do see other artists that maybe have shit out, and even them have other people's songs like on their name and shit like that, and like just making a name that's only your name. Like, I guess maybe I didn't underplay it, but I maybe to some degree I feel like I did, only because I feel like I always was unsure of my name for that reason too. I was always thinking like, maybe I want a different name, mainly because I was like, you know, it was just like a name that fit me, but it wasn't like, I didn't know if it was the only name, like I was the only one with the name. That was my reasoning on never really being all the way like, I guess, sold on it. But also, other than that, I was thinking in projects, like something like what you were saying and being in the stew, and like what that kind of made me reflect on was like what I would need to be like, say, like also watching this Kanye documentary too, and like seeing him make his album and shit like that, and just seeing what you need to like in planning and plotting ideas of like making an album. And visionary point is like, I was like, you could get it done by setting a little blueprint in my head, and I was like, my blueprint could be like 2 training camp sessions where it's like where we go somewhere and record, and then like, because it's really, I'm looking at him all the different sessions he did, and it was just like certain sessions, just like this one, and then he did this one, and then it was like, it was done, like these monumental ones. And I was like, you could plot it out and be like, okay, I could complete this album in these 2 sessions, and then like one at the stew one, you know what I mean? And then if those focused on making, and then put like an asterisk like on a board, like focused on, I feel like I dreamt this, but I was like, put like on a board to like focused on making this like, you know, project on those ones. And I was like, with that blueprint, you could achieve this type shit. Like, I was kind of just thinking of how like what that's needed when you rolling out like a debut album, or like making some shit of your own, or like, you know what I mean, when you really gonna get into like, or an album like how we made our first album. it just takes like that plot of just being like, okay, this is how much time we need to take to make it. Like I was thinking of those days of when we were first making our album, like when it was just kind of like we had that energy in us to kind of just be like hyped because we didn't know what we were gonna make. We just knew we had to dedicate those times to make it, and then the times to do the next shit, and then the times to do the, you know what I mean? It was just kind of just like lay out that little blueprint, and then you'll be at the end of the wall of it, like announce drop time. Sometimes you just get in that artistic block, you know, just being like, I don't know how you're gonna get to the end of it. You know what you want to do, but sometimes it's just laying out the time to do it and being like, okay, it might just take more than just one. It's gonna take like 2 focused ones, 3 focused ones, and then you should be good. Yeah. What about you?
It's called a life affirmation.
Yeah, it's really just something you look at differently.
Okay, so
it could be anything.
I feel like recently, mine has been like that. What did you say? Artistic block? Is that what you said? Okay, so it's been centered around that, like seeing how to get over that hurdle of artistic block. Like that's what I've been thinking about lately, thinking about differently. And like the point that you brought up about like, I guess the feng shui of like your situation, how that could help you create better or whatever. Like, like I've been focused a lot on like, you know, what my space looks like, because like that's really important. If it's a heap, I feel like a heap. I can't draw anything. So I'm like, I've been thinking a lot about that lately, just how to like get over that block, and thinking about how when I used to get into drawing, I used to do like doodles every single day, and that's like how I would get better at it, and I would be able to do like a piece or like actually make something worthwhile outside of a doodle. And then like recently I keep trying to make pieces and I'm like, I can't do it, but then I'm like, but I can doodle, so why don't I just doodle every day and just like practice that part of my brain again, since I haven't done it in a while. Just I
definitely felt like that at times with freestyling, where it's like I didn't
exactly.
have much
like
to
when you do it
but
every
that,
day,
and it was like just do that, like do that in the shower, do that when you're riding your bike, and then you kind of just you said it builds up in the way that you can build it up at the time, and then you're just like, all right, now I'm tired of this, like let me try this. Exactly.
Yeah, that's really been what I've been thinking about lately.
It's really fire. I would say I think we're pretty much done for the most part. You know, this is the part of the podcast we kind of just, you know, thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you.
It was definitely fucking a great time talking with you about pretty much all the shit we've done in the past and the shit that we like are gonna do in the future. You know, I hope like we like end up seeing all of each other in the spaceship someday. You know what I'm saying? Like on our boarding pass. Like, yo, summer.
What if we all just have our own spaceships?
No, that
like,
would
yo,
be,
you trying to meet here?
We're just racing spaceships. And
we're in the space world.
Right?
I'm like, yo,
so
I think
fun.
that's somewhere up there. Like,
I would be so sus if I seen spaceships pulling up on me though, because like you know, like we in space, like
you're like not nobody got a spaceship. Like what the fuck? Look at this. All right, and welcome Shadow to the pod.
She came to say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you,
any
Shadow.
last things you want to say?
No, just thank you again for coming.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Of course. Is there anything you want to let the people know? If
no,
not,
I'm okay. Thank you.
Well, peace out, everybody. Have a good one.
We got another one for real.
Mind Tree Radio.
Passion, pain, and desire. Dance around in the fire. Acid rain and the choir. Passion, pain, and desire. Can we get higher? Too much red on my mind, yeah. I need a break from this hell. happening? What's 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 happening?
Mind Dream Radio.
Running, 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 drowning, 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 running, 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 drowning, 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 running, 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 drowning, drowning, drowning. Yeah, ay, ay, yeah, ay, yeah, yeah, ay, yeah, yeah, ay. Yeah, ay, I can't sing today, I can't spit my heart away. I got a hard away, pen, chillin' in my pad. Know that I'm the freshest when I rhyme. Every summer I'm
Top contender, fighting for the belt all the way through December. I've arrived in the nick of time. I'm alive, vibe, ride, grab your gas, grab your straps, it's the night live. Grab your gas, grab your straps, it's the night live.
running, 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 drowning, 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 running, 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 drowning, 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 running, 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 drowning, drowning, drowning. I'm just fucking around, I'm astounded. The way that I spit this shit, I got the crowd jumping around, shaking it now. Bust the thing down for my niggas in the town that came the groove, man. We got the groove, man. We smoking boot, man. We up to the roof and we drinking on the bottle. Anytime we put this hollow, if they wanna get this shit started, we can take it to the alley tomorrow. Cause I got a show today and I'm about to spit these flows as I throw it all away. Cause it ain't nothing to me. I chuck the bottle down, nigga. I smoking on the biggest backwood you ever seen. We call them King Kong figures, you know what I mean. We smoke them down to the singers like Wiz Khalifa. Niggas know that now the biggest cheaper to ever do it on this type of beat. It's a fun.